死なないために死ぬほど準備することなんて絵に秘めあらたことでしょう。光栄だけど買いかぶりっすよ。
Hello guys, it's me Sim Orahara, and in this video we'll talk about the 10 secrets that stay without answers in Bleach, so that the manga ended without revealing those secrets. It is true that many things that were mysterious in the story were revealed in the novels that were released after the end of the manga, as the fate of some characters, are they still alive or dead. For example, we knew through the novels that the members of the Zero Squad are still alive and have been revived by Ichibi, and other things that were revealed in the novel such as Hirako's Bankai and Hisaki's Bankai. Also, Kubo's answers in Club Outside removed a lot of mystery regarding some events like Yachiru Izaraki's Bankai and what's happened to Ichigo's double sword, etc. But despite this, there are still several great secrets that remain without answer until now. And so guys, let's check them. And the most important of these secrets is what is the relationship between Yuwaba and the Soul King. In the manga, Yuwaba referred to the Soul King as my father, but despite that, doubts remained about this matter. Is he really the son of the Soul King or something else? Because what made this more vague is Tokinara's words in the novel when he put two possibilities. Either Yuwaba is the son whom Soul King left behind, or Yuwaba is the embodiment of the Soul King's power. And I had previously made a special theory about the second possibility in this old video. Of course, at that time I believed in the idea that Yuwaba wasn't the soul of the Soul King, and I have made a scenario that goes in this direction. I also made a fan fiction about the first possibility that Yuwaba is the son of the Soul King, but in the end the answer is still not available to us, and I hope that it will be shown in the anime or in one of the new chapters of Hell Arc. The first Gotei. Perhaps this is the biggest secret everyone wants to know. I still remember the first time I saw this scene. I really felt goosebumps. These characters are the first generation of the Gotei 13, led by Yamamoto and the first Kinpachi. Knowing these characters will certainly reveal to us many other things that we don't know. And I think the rest of the other characters will be new to us, unless it was another surprise from Kubo about the presence of a character we know in this squad. And I said in a previous video that it's possible that Shuchara and Kirinji may also be among the first Gotei, especially Sunjimaru Shuchara, as she previously indicated that this is not the first time she has met Yuwaba. And the sin of the first generation of the Gotei was mentioned during the end of the second fight of Yuwaba and Yamamoto. But we don't know how the first battle between them took place, how Yamamoto defeated Yuwaba. All we know about this battle is that Yamamoto used his Bankai in another version different from the one he used in the last arc. While the biggest mystery remains with Yuwaba. Did Yuwaba use the Almighty in his fight against Yamamoto? Because Yuwaba has the Almighty 1000 years ago, and this is what appeared in the flashback of Basby and Hajvald. But during the second battle of Yamamoto and Yuwaba, it became clear that Yamamoto didn't know anything about the Almighty. What I think personally, and I had previously spoken about this, is that Yuwaba intentionally didn't want to use his power, because he saw in the future that it's not good for him to win and Ichigo didn't born yet. And if you want to know more about this theory of mine, you can watch this video. Back to our topic, Kubo recently said that the fight that got his attention in the upcoming anime is Yamamoto's fight against Yuwaba. So I hope Kubo added some new things in that fight, like a short flashback about the first Gotei 13 and also how Yamamoto defeated Yuwaba in the past. How Yuuri survived from the Auswählen. This is also one of the questions that's still without answers. We know that one of Yuwaba's greatest abilities is his use of the Auswählen. With this technique, he was able to take all the power of the hybrid Quincy's, and as a result of that, they were all killed. And among his victims was Yuryu's mother Kategiri and as well as Ichigo's mother Masaki. But Yuuryu, who is also a hybrid Quincy, was not affected by this ritual. More than that, when we look deep in this matter, we find that Ishida's family seems to have been immunized against this technique, since Yukin was also not affected by this technique when he was trying to give Yuuryu the arrow, because Yuwaba performed the Auswählen to steal the power of all the Quincy in the battlefields. Anyway, I want to see how Kubo will deal with this matter, especially since he has already stated that there is some plot about it. What's happened to Yamamoto's Bankai? One of the things we were waiting for was to see Yuwaba using Yamamoto's Bankai after he stole it, because it turns out that the Quincy's are able to use the Shinigami's Bankai even after the death of its owner. Driscoll used Sasaki's Bankai after killing him, and this made everyone want to know when Yuwaba might use Yamamoto's Bankai. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Did Kubo forget about it, or was there something that made Yuwaba not to use the Bankai? Who is the fifth noble family? This is also one of the secrets that still until now without answer. As you know, there are 5 noble families that are considered the greatest families in the Serity. Of course, Shiba was expelled at some point outside the Serity. Therefore, there are 4 left. In the manga we know 2 of them, and they are Kuchiki and Shihon. While in the novel it was mentioned the 3rd family is Tsunayachiro. As for the 4th family, it was mentioned in the novel, but its name was not mentioned. We don't know the reason. Is it a deliberate move from Kubo, or he just hasn't found a name for it? And I have previously talked about this family in my last video. And as I said, a lot of people link it to Hell, given that it was its ancestor who wanted to cover the pit that formed Hell later. The manga has ended and several Bankai have not been revealed. It is true that the Bankai of Hisage and Hirako have been revealed in the novel, but there are Bankai of important personalities that we haven't seen, like Isshin's Bankai as well as the real Bankai of Ichigo. Immediately after Ichigo released his Bankai, Yuwaba broke it. And frankly, I don't know if this is how Kubo wanted to end the manga, or was it the lack of time that made him make up that scenario? Meaning, did he have another scenario in which Ichigo would release the Bankai and we would have been able to see its power? But this scenario would take some time, and this is what he didn't have. And there is also Onohana's Bankai. It is true Onohana released the Bankai in the manga against Zaraki, but we don't know its power. And so the only solution we have in order to know these things is to wait for the anime or the release of new chapters from the Hell arc. After Kubo returned to release the chapters of the second part of the final arc, it became clear to us that the Soul King has limbs from his body that are separate from him. And some of those limbs have their personalities, while others gave those who possess them additional strength. For example, we learned that there is a right hand, which is Mimihage, and a left hand is Bernida, and the heart of the Soul King is owned by Girard, while in the novel it appears that Rangiku owned the King's Nail. But the rest of the other limbs, such as the legs, we don't know their fate. But in general, the issue of the limbs of the Soul King needs a special explanation in the anime, and I hope to see that, especially the scene of chapter 519. Kubo made a big mistake there, and he should fix it. One of the strange scenes in the last chapters of the manga is what Kazue did. He removed Yuwaba's remaining power only with his hand. This is also one of the mysterious things that needs explanation. We may see it in the chapter of Hell as long as Kazue is one of the main characters of those events. And finally we have the world of Hell. It is a topic that concerns everyone now. Kubo delved a lot in the world of the Soul Society, the real world, and the Wikomundo, but he didn't talk much about the world of Hell in the manga, except what was mentioned in chapter 12. And with the release of the one-shot, I think this is the right opportunity to see the world of Hell and how Kubo imagined it, far from what we have seen in the 4th movie. So guys, these were the most important secrets that I see are still stuck in the Bleach story, and we need to see a glimpse about them. Of course, there are other secrets I may have forgotten. Tell me about them in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.